Welcome to your Friday, June 26th, 2026 morning update. Preferred pronouns. Stupid. Dumb idea. Still a thing. Despite all the anti-DEI rhetoric coming from the federal government and your president, Donald Trump. Of course, most of this is occurring on university campuses, which imagine themselves as being like Indian reservations. They don't have to follow the law. They have their own law. They still act like that. And they're not getting their funding cut. So weird things happen. For example, the University of Minnesota forces students to adopt transgender ideology in the name of preventing sexual harassment. Ha, yeah, okay. And students are suing, saying the policies violate their free speech rights under the First Amendment and prevent them from inviting speakers such as detransitioner Chloe Cole. I've met Chloe. Lovely lady. If you get a chance to see her speak, please do. Anyway, so they're protesting. They're protesting the pronoun problem. And it's a stupid problem, but it's a real problem. It's a problem that we've covered a couple times. And if the people at the University of Minnesota knew any better, they'd have checked the news clips and maybe a couple stories at GretaCroc.com, because there's this really crazy thing that keeps happening. Courts keep ruling in favor of the people who are being forced to use pronouns they don't want to have to use. Here's a few examples.
The subject for today is pronouns. So what you say we have a couple of go-rounds? I is a lonely word, you is a happy word, we is a friendly word I much prefer. He is a simple word, she is a tender word, they is a mating of a him and her. It is a word that can mean anything. It can be either large or small. Mine is a selfish word, yours is the thoughtful word, but ours is the nicest word of all.
The lawsuit claims the university policies violate the students' rights under the First and 14th Amendments by imposing an unconstitutionally vague rules, by discriminating against the students' viewpoints, and by compelling them to endorse messages with which they disagree. Quote, "We live in fear of being disciplined and having our future ruined if we even accidentally use a pronoun someone doesn't like." Young America's Foundation, a conservative youth organization, represents Barrick and fellow students in the lawsuit with lawyers from the Southeastern Legal Foundation. While advocates for transgender ideology claim that using a person's preferred pronoun is a baseline courtesy, the lawsuit notes that the challenged policies require a person to speak contrary to his deeply held beliefs and dictate the viewpoints he may express. It's really a little bit simpler than that. First of all, you don't even know their pronouns. I think that if you're going to enforce something as stupid as making sure somebody uses the correct pronouns, or else you are committing sexual harassment, the person who wants their pronouns to be used should be forced or required to have their pronouns on the front of their person and the back of their person, at least 144-point typeface. That way, you can't get them wrong. But even then you could, right? Because let's be honest. Is it a crime to mispronounce somebody's name? How about if you can't guess their favorite color?
How dare you!
You don't know how I like my coffee? Discrimination. Of course, my favorite of all is that you've mistaken me for somebody who gives a shit what your pronouns are.
Whatever.
That's it for today. Go free speech. We'll talk to you on Monday.